Hey family, Eve here. So family, this video right here that I'm about to create is a continuation from the last video I did. It was brothers, called Brothers. This one's going to be Brothers Continue. And in that last video, you remember I showed you guys how one brother jealousy for the other brother, he through his evil, he wanted to destroy that brother, or the one that was chosen by God. The one that had not been chosen sought to destroy the one that had been chosen by God. And I had done two sets of brothers at that time. And the first set was the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then the second set of brothers was Ishmael and Isaac. I showed you how Noah's sons, how God used them to replenish the earth, and how through replenishing the earth, or the ones that God chose to allow the earth to prosper again, or to life to continue through them, how they immediately began to do evil right after the flood. And it began with Ham, Noah's son, and Noah cursed him. God allowed Noah to curse him and cast him into darkness. And I told you also in that video that by Noah casting him into darkness, or God casting him into darkness, it made him an evil people, and that mark became a mark of evil, which later on is known now as the mark of the beast. So let me continue with and then Ishmael, the second one that was Isaac was chosen by God. Shem was chosen by God as Noah's sons. Isaac was chosen by God as Abraham's son. Ishmael and Isaac. Isaac received the covenant blessing, or the promise that his seed after him would be blessed by God, or continue in God's blessing. Ishmael, at the time Isaac was receiving the promise, Ishmael was being circumcised. So the circumcision, he received the mark of circumcision, which later on became another one of the marks of the beast. Now, we're going to continue with the next set of brothers, which is Jacob, or Esau and Jacob. Here we go. So, and Esau conspired against Jacob. So it says, Genesis 25:19 through 41, and it says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pendarim, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Saying two nations of people. It's two different nations. Even though they twins in her womb, when they grow up, they will become two different people, two different nations of people. And it said, and 24 says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Now 23 acknowledges that the elder will serve the youngest. So whichever one comes out first will be a servant to the one that comes out second. And it says, 25 says, and the first came out red like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his name, and came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bore them, meaning he was 60 years old. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. 29 said, and Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. He said, therefore was his name called Edom. Esau is also known as Edom because of red pottage. And you remember when he said he was born, he came out red like a hairy garment. So that's describing who he is, red. That's a mark that he had on him when he was born. And later on, that mark that he received was really considered a mark of evil, and his mark became known as one of the marks of the beast. And Esau said, "Behold, I am to the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read that part. He came and read part. He said, "For I am faint." He said, therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." 32, that was 31. 32 says, and Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Genesis 27:30 says, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried a great and exceedingly bitter cry. This is Genesis 27:34 says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, "Bless me, even me also, O my father." And he said, "Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing." And he said, Is not he rightfully named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now behold, he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Has thou not reserved a blessing for me? 37 says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, "Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do unto thee, my son?" 38 says, and Esau said unto his father, "Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. 39 says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, "Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above." 40 says, and thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau, 41 says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said, it is in his heart, "The days of mourning my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother." See, so because Jacob was blessed and had received the blessing, now see, he didn't care about his birthright. He sold his birthright to Jacob. Esau sold his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of soup, a bowl of lentil pottage, meaning soup. And then he got mad when his daddy turned around and blessed Jacob. And then he got mad, said, "Is his name rightfully Jacob, not rightfully Jacob? He took my birthright, and now he has supplanted me." He done supplanted him twice for the birthright and the blessing. But see, the blessing both of them came by God. The blessing definitely came by God, and God allowed Jacob to receive that blessing. And it seemed like he did it through trickery, but supplanted means to receive with intent. It was intended for Jacob to get the blessing because he had given away the birthright. Esau had given away the birthright. And anybody who know anything about birthright, the blessing always come with the birthright. So it was in God's intention for Jacob to receive the blessing as well as him receiving the birthright. And he is the seed of Isaac. And Isaac, remember God said that when he made the covenant with Abraham about Isaac, he said his seed after him, it will be an everlasting covenant. And so I read to you guys in one of my last videos where I was reading to you that Jacob's name became Israel when he wrestled with the angel, and they changed his name. So that blessing, Jacob blessing, by Jacob becoming Israel, the blessing fell on the children of Israel. That's why I'm always making these videos trying to tell you guys who you are. The children of Israel, God said that blessing he made with Abraham concerning Isaac would be an everlasting blessing, and it would be passed on to his seed. So that blessing went to his seed, Jacob, who became Israel after wrestling with the God. So that blessing is now on the children of Israel, because he said forever. That means that blessing is for our people. And God said in the book of Genesis, when he told Abraham that his seed would go into slavery, he said, but after they've done that slavery, 400 years of slavery, after it was done, he said he would judge the nation that afflicted them. And he said they will come out with great substance, meaning blessings. And he also said that in the 4th generation that we will come back there again, meaning come back to him, and he's going to restore us those blessings back to us after we did the slavery. We was going to go in slavery because of our disobedience, our foreparents' disobedience. But he said he was going to bless us. So now let me show you in Psalms 83 where all those nations conspired together to destroy Israel. All those nations that received that mark, those marks of the beast, which is the system that they set up to destroy the children of Israel. Now listen to what it says. It says Psalm 83. I'm just going to read 1 through 8. It says, first verse, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Meaning they coming together, they thinking. 3 says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. His people, they've hidden us through slavery. And it says, 4 says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no longer be in remembrance. They're trying to cut us off. That means they're trying to destroy us. 5 says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. 6 says, the tabernacle of Edom, didn't I say Esau is Edom? And the Ishmaelites of Moab, Ishmael's, Isaac's brother, Abraham's other son. Moab is the seed of Lot. Abraham took care of Lot when God told Abraham to leave Canaan from amongst his kin. He was going to bless him in the land of Canaan. Told you Abraham lived in Canaan. So, and the Hagarines. Hagar is Ishmael's mother, the Egyptians. 7 says Gebal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. 8 says Ashur also is joined with them, and they have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. So I named all of those nations that receive the mark of the beast: the Ammonites, the Philistines, the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Hagarines, and Canaan is the land upon which they live. And the Hagarines is a part of the land of Canaan because they're Africans, they're Egyptians. So all of these nations, mostly, well, all these nations that I named, the Philistines is the Romans, which is also Esau's descendants. Tyre, Egyptians, Gebal, Amalek. Amalek is Esau's grandson. Edom, Esau, Ishmael, Moab. I mentioned Moab is the Asian nations. So all of them together conspired. Those people that received those marks, those nations that received those marks, those sons or brothers that received those marks, I just mentioned them, how they came together to destroy Israel, which is Jacob, Isaac's descendants, Abraham's descendants through Isaac, and Jacob through Isaac, Isaac through Abraham, Abraham through Isaac, Isaac through Jacob, Israel. So family, there you go. Just wanted to show you how they brought about evil, and that's what this second judgment is about, to bring down those people who brought evil. And like I say all the time, this whole Bible is written around the children of Israel. So that judgment is coming for all the wickedness that these people did to the children of Israel. So family, with that being